My name is Morgan. I'm the Outreach and Assessment Librarian. I'm on the Harnett campus, so if I've not had the pleasure of meeting you yet, feel free to reach out. You can stop by the library or you can email. Anything that helps you feel comfortable with the library, we are happy to support you in and helping you and your students get connected with the appropriate resources. You can see my email here on the screen. Feel free to reach out. And I'm also going to drop my phone number in the chat if you prefer to communicate by calling. All right. And if you have any questions throughout, just let me know. Feel free to chat or ask. So what are OERs? OERs are open educational resources. They're accessible and free resources for learners. So if you missed it, there was actually a couple of weeks ago an introduction to OERs. If that is something that you're interested in, just let me know. You can email me and I can send you the link and we can ensure that you can get that information. Essentially, that presentation went over what are OERs and why are they important. This is kind of a short little overview. OERs are the start of a conversation and a good tool for connection among faculty, students, and the library. And what OERs do is they actually help students to be successful. And they can help the faculty be successful as well by supporting diverse materials and helping students to connect more easily with the course material. And that, I think, can sometimes help make faculty's job a little bit easier, especially when you're teaching and getting students engaged. So OERs increase retention and they help students to stay persistent in the course. I'm going to give you a couple of links. These links kind of talk about the ways in which OERs can help with retention. Some students would actually skip buying books or a course if they couldn't actually afford to purchase the books. And so what they found is that if students are able to purchase or access the books without having to worry about cost necessarily, they are more likely to take the class and then complete that course, if only just because they have access to that book. And then it's flexible, so it allows you to change as your course and your class's needs change. And then equity. So obviously, by having materials that are accessible to everyone, you do equal the playing field. It allows people to get the book without having to worry about cost or about how they're going to pay for the book. The thing that I would also like to highlight is this is one instructor's opinion, so feel free to take this as you see fit. But this instructor has kind of argued in a very small way, not super in detail, but he asserts that OERs can help make STEM more inclusive and affordable. And so we know it can make it more affordable because obviously if you're not having to pay for things, in the sense of the student does not have to buy the textbook, but they have that free resource available, then it's much more affordable, but also it can be inclusive because if it's more equitable, then more people can participate, and then you get a little bit broader range of thoughts and opinions and ideas as students participate in the course and as instructors make and create more diverse content. One of the great things about OERs is that they're located in a variety of different places. Open NCC have y'all heard of that? Do you feel comfortable with that? Is that familiar to you? Okay, great. So I'm actually going to just open it up really quick so you have an idea of what it looks like. So this is a repository for open educational resources, and you can look by keyword for what you're looking for. You can look by subject. You can browse all resources, and then you can also browse the community colleges, or you can browse by content creator or provider. So if you went to all resources, you could then search by subject area or material type, depending on what it is that you needed. This, I think, is a really great repository because it is so organized. It's a lot, I think it's really easy to search. So let's look at engineering, for example. You can see there's all these more specific subjects underneath. And then you can also search by keyword. So if you did automation, you still have 18 resources. That's not quite as many to look through as like 1,000. So you're able to actually look through it a little bit more effectively, but you can see here that if you were interested in a particular text, you could look at the resource, you could learn more about it, and then you could see the tags that it had. Now, some of these resources will actually be reviewed by other instructors and professors, and it will say, oh yes, this is a great resource. What I love about this is, and then they'll tell you what they like. If this is something that you are interested in, if you go back to the introduction to the OERs presentation, I actually have a list of just open repositories that you can search for a variety of subjects and disciplines. So those are very broad resources. In this particular presentation, I've tried to highlight some more specific things: engineering textbooks, math and science and computer science, science and engineering, OERs from NC State. And then you can see these are biology here, but under like STEM resources or a variety of disciplines. They are going to be in the form of library guides. And I will give you an example by showing you what they look like. A lot of these are library guides, so they do have very similar layouts, but there will be some visual differences. You may see some that have tabs up here and then some that will have tabs to the side, but typically it's labeled. Now, I will also say that these LibGuides are also diverse in the way that they present material. So if we clicked on computer science, for example, some of them are going to give you open repositories like this, where they will say, you know, you can search for these textbooks. Others will actually give you specific textbooks that you can then use. So it's not so much searching, it's more, this is what we have available to you. So let me show you this example from NC State. OER from NC State. And so you can see here, where can I find an OER for my course? Let's click College of Engineering. And now you can click on one of these recommended resources. And it actually opens right up into the textbook. So you can see that some of them are going to provide you with links to repositories, some to specific textbooks. And then I think you'll also see some that will provide you links to open educational materials that are not just textbooks. They may be games or videos or other kinds of resources and types of material that you can then use in your course. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions, any concerns or anything so far? Okay, great. Now I will say that obviously you can see I've got listed here some options for STEM, but that is not all that is available and out there. I really just found ones that I thought were great complements, easy to use, but there are tons of OERs out there. The big thing with OERs is that there are some challenges that go along with it. They do sometimes require a lot of kind of intense overhaul of classes. If you were like, I'm going to take my whole class from purchased materials, things that students have to buy, to totally OER. I mean, there's a lot of work involved. And the library does want to partner with you in that and supporting you, whatever that might look like. The time is extremely prohibitive. Yeah, that's, I think, one of the big top challenges. The other top challenge that I'm going to actually share with you this study is discoverability. A lot of instructors and faculty actually find that they do want to use OERs, but they're like, I can't actually find what I'm looking for. I don't know where to look. And that, I think, is where the library can really help you, if nothing else, the most, by helping you find what it is you might be looking for. And we want to help you do that. We want to help you feel comfortable doing that. I think OERs are really great because they really allow the faculty member and the instructors to bring their expertise, which is that content knowledge, into the conversation, and then helps the librarians bring their knowledge, which is finding and discovering things. And so I think that start of a conversation helps OERs to really be something that seems reasonable and can possibly be brought into the classroom successfully. The time being time prohibitive, it's hard to say what the best solution for that would be. But if you are interested in creating a conversation, or you would like to, feel free to reach out to the library, and we can maybe offer some suggestions or give you some ideas, or you can just say, look, I just want to see what else is out there. And we'd be happy to help you with that too. So just some questions to think about when you are thinking about getting an OER or looking for an OER, or saying, hey, can you help me find something, is what do you want the material to be able to do? What questions or concerns do you have about the material or about the whole process itself? And then how can the library help and support you? And for some folks, it's like, I just want you to help me find stuff. And other people, it might be, I need you to help me find course, activities. I don't need materials like textbooks. I need videos. So there's a lot of different things that we can help you with. OERs, I'll say, are complicated. They're really interesting and fun, and they provide a lot of equitable access to materials, but they do come with their own challenges and barriers. And not every challenge and barrier will be the same for every faculty member. So we want to help you as you explore what it might look like to bring OERs into your classroom, whether that's a full content overhaul, which is very, time consuming, or you're just looking for one material. You just want to try, instead of having students purchase this, maybe you'll try an OER for this instead this time around. So a lot of experimentation, and that's exciting. And we're happy to help you as you think through what that might look like for you. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any concerns? Anything you want to see or explore or look at?
Hey, Morgan, this is Jim.
Hi.
I've used OER in one class. It took a while to get into it, but the issue I see with bringing OERs to like a totally new class where we're using, say, Cengage stuff, and I think it's obvious to us anyway, is that you buy Cengage book, you get the PowerPoints, you get the activities, you get the solutions. So the book is only like, a part of it. And the issue I found with OERs is finding the activities is very difficult, or the problems they have to deal with, or the assignments. That's where a lot of time comes. And I've never asked anyone to help me research that, but that's that's the part I think is going to be the most difficult for someone who needs to switch a course in a hurry. And like our particular department, we happen to be down like 3 instructors, so
Mhm.
we're all kind of doing things in a hurry.
Yeah, that I think you're making a really great point, which is that we are so time limited where we are right now. And so I think the big thing I just really want to emphasize is whether you're on a time crunch or you have plenty of time, the library wants to help you be successful. And so, and your students to be successful. So it might not be we find an entire course overhaul material, we might not be able to take the whole course to OER, but if we can help take it piece by piece, we're happy to help you to do that. But I really appreciate that you brought that up because that's definitely something for us to think about as the library.
Okay. I mean, the one course where I actually use an OER textbook, the way that was done is it was entire Cengage, and then
Hmm.
someone from the library helped me replace the book, and then they helped me get some exercises, but it took several semesters.
Right. That's a great point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Let's see. I know there's another question. I'm looking now. Often in information technology, the tech changes as software gets revised. What tools are available to the OER repositories that allow notification to regular updates to the material? Mike, that is a great question. I do not know the answer to that, but I will investigate for you. I'll see if there's anything that I can find about that, whatever that notification process might be. And then Mary, how far in advance do you suggest a faculty member plan ahead if wanting to create a course with OER content? James brought up a really great point, which is that it can take several semesters to finally get everything integrated. I think it just depends on what the faculty member wants to do, how much content, what the deadlines are, um, what the course content is. So I would say probably a semester in advance would give everybody plenty of time to trade conversations and ideas and do some discovering of materials. But again, maybe the start of a conversation doesn't necessarily have to be the end, and it maybe doesn't have to be a full course overhaul. It could maybe be piece by piece. Yeah, thank you. Is there anything else that you can think of that you have questions about or that I can help answer? Okay, great. Well, I really appreciate y'all coming today. And I'm just going to give you 2 more things. So we've got 2 more slides and then that is it. Um, the first thing is I'm just going to drop a link into the chat. If you'll just tell me some things you're thinking about, things for me to consider and for the library to consider, that would be great. You can let us know any suggestions you have, or if you're interested in discussing more about OERs, then there's a place where you can definitely fill out that information as well. And then we'd love for you to contact us. You can see here all the librarians are listed here. It doesn't matter which campus you're on, but if you're like someone that prefers to work one-to-one, face-to-face, we can connect you with the librarian that would be on your campus. The other thing is that if it depends on what you want to do with the material, maybe it's accessibility, or maybe it's instructional materials. Mari is our digital services librarian. She's wonderful. She can definitely help with some of that accessibility content. And then Allison is great because she's our instructional services librarian. She can probably offer a little bit more of that instructional content, that kind of guidance on some suggestions there. So we're all happy to help. and to help make your course successful and to help you feel successful in your course, but also for your students to feel successful. You can also set up a conversation at this link here. This is just, it's basically an appointment scheduler. You can set up an appointment and we can chat and we can keep the conversation going from here. Whatever works best for you. And of course, please take time to think about it. Feel free, you don't have to make a decision today or even tomorrow. If you want to think about it for a little while and then, next semester you're interested in seeing what OERs can look like in your class, by all means, we'd love to have that conversation with you. But I really appreciate y'all's interest, and I appreciate that you have given me so much good content to think about and good questions to ponder. So I really appreciate that. Is there anything else you can think of right now? I will be emailing my slides. Yes, as soon as the professional development folks put this video on UJA, I'm going to send out the slides as well as the video.